Tasha, at this point, just officially leave the group and be done with it. So we pick up where we left off last week. Tamika, Tasha, and the mom have now moved the conversation from inside the house to outside of the house. The mom is very upset, yelling at Tamika. Basically, she's like, why did you expose us on camera when we could have handled this off camera? The mom said that Tamika should have come to her to discuss this money situation regarding Tasha. Tamika said that she did. I believe her, and I'll tell you why in a moment. So this is what the mom reminds me of. She reminds me of a mother, and before I begin, let me be clear and say, I don't know the dynamics of their family. I don't. But this is what the mom reminds me of. She reminds me of the women who have kids with more than one father, and the child that they favored that father. They were in love with them. Even if the relationship didn't work, they loved that man. The child that they dislike is usually the child whose father they hated. I'm not sure if Tamika and Tasha have the same father. They could. But I would be curious to know what is the underlying resentment that the mom has towards Tamika. What is the reason? But that is the energy that she gives. So Candy, Tiny, and Tamika meet up at Candy's office. Tasha's supposed to be there because they're supposed to discuss group business. Tasha is not there. Tamika proceeds to tell what happened at their mom's house. In the midst of that conversation, Tamika plays a message from the mom. And here's what stood out to me in the message. The message starts off with a bunch of gaslighting from the mom to Tamika. She's basically telling Tamika how deeply she hurt Tasha. And so now she inserts God into it and says, you don't have enough God in you to calm yourself down and listen to righteousness. Okay. Then she ends it by saying, if I hear you jumping on your sister, there's nothing in this world that won't prevent me from kicking your tail. Her leaving that message solidified everything. It told me everything that I needed to know. You would hope that counseling could help them, but I don't even know, because the mom is so religious, I don't even know if she would do counseling outside of the church. So now we move over to Tasha and Rocky's house. Tasha's walking into the kitchen like she lost her best friend. She's got on a Goddess Dope sweatshirt. Rocky proceeds to say, how my name get in it? That question was very puzzling, because if somebody makes a very incriminating accusation about you, that's not something that you're just going to let go. You're going to figure out what type of evidence or documentation that they have towards you. I also found it strange, Tasha's word choice. Tasha said that what Tamika was accusing them of does not exist. That's a weird choice of words to put together. And then Rocky agrees and said, yeah, it ain't real. Well, her words that she used is real. Now, you can dispute what she's saying, and you can provide evidence that you didn't do what she's saying, but the words that are coming out of her mouth, those are real. I really just believe the dynamic of Tasha's relationship with Rocky is that of, it's me and Rocky against the world. It doesn't matter what happens between her and her sister. She feels like, Rocky is her family into a large degree. That is true. But it seems like she would go along with anything that Rocky says. And that's just the dynamic of their relationship. We get to see Lily with her sister. I think Lily is just so fun. She don't take things too seriously because of where she came from. I really believe that she is extremely thankful and gracious for everything that SWV has afforded them. I just like her spirit. Coco, I love to see her with her son. I love hearing them sing together too. It's nice to see the fun side of Coco's personality, and I noticed it really comes out when she's with her son. And of course, them showing, Taj with her son, and Eddie George, her husband, and just what they all share together. Right now, we really don't see any breakdown within the group, within SWV's group. Like I said last week, I think that they did all of the arguing and breaking up to make up stuff, and they're just now in a place where they're just living life and enjoying the fruits of their labor. Okay, so now we move over to Tiny's lake house. Tiny's a trip. Tiny just seemed like she liked to have a good time. She liked to get the money. She liked to live good. She said that they got 5 houses. Basically, I'm rich, bitch. Tiny is the unofficial mediator of the group. So anytime somebody having an issue, is Tiny the one that's trying to bring them together. She's trying to hear everybody's side out. A true Libra. Tamika and Candy get there first. They're all in the kitchen as Tiny is making drinks. Lo and behold, Tasha drags in. She's the last one coming in. When she comes in, she doesn't speak. They're not facing her, so they don't see her coming in. She's walking into the door, dragging, and then finally she says, "Hey, hey," with like a scowl on her face. And it just gets to be exhausting. Me personally, if you gonna have an attitude, just stay your ass home. It's just not right to be around people and bring that depressive energy in. It don't serve nobody. It just don't. So anyway, they're having a conversation about group stuff. They start off talking about management. We find out that their management company is good friends with Tasha and Rocky. That's a no-go. That's a no-go at this point. Like, no. Tiny brought up a good point. Like, when we did Versus with SWV, it wasn't like we were getting all these gigs as a result of it, or all these opportunities, and we ain't fell off. So what's up with the management company? Candy poses the question to Tasha. What do you think about this? Oh, I'm just trying to hear everybody out. Seems like Tasha only really gives answers to Tiny. So then Tiny says, well, no, where are you in this process right now? She said she got to pray about it. Okay. Basically, that meant she needed to see what Rocky thought about it. You know how they have the B-roll footage where, the confessionals, where Tasha's in her dress and everything, and this scene is taking place? Rocky comes over, and he comes over and whispers something in her ear during her confessionals. And the producer's like, Rocky, what are you doing? What's going on? Why are you in her ear? It continuously solidifies the dynamics of their relationship. It's nothing wrong with your husband being the head of your household, but it's almost like Tasha she's not able to think for herself or make a decision, and she's very careful in what she says. She's in every conversation that she has, she's always too careful with her words. So anyway, Tasha ends up leaving. They didn't finish discussing management. Tasha's gonna go home and pray and talk it out with Rocky. Okay, so to close the show out, we see Candy, Todd, and Candy's DJ and somebody else at Candy's office, and the DJ is pretty much asking Candy, where's the group with everything? I think Candy's working. Candy making some more money, putting out a song, working on something, and they get on the subject of Tasha and what is Tasha's problem. And Todd kind of hints on what I made a post about, which is just how Tasha has never made it beyond her not going solo in the 90s. And then we see Tasha and Rocky at their house having a similar discussion. And Tasha is basically saying that, Candy was a know-it-all when they were growing up. I don't dispute that. I think there is some truth in it. Candy was the youngest. There could have been some jealousy or questions about, was Tasha doing all of the lead songs? They were young. So I don't dispute that. But that was 20 plus years ago. It's like Tasha is stuck in that. So as Tasha is talking to Rocky, he's asking her, do you think Candy likes you? Tasha's convinced that there's something about her that Candy doesn't like. Well, let's just be honest. Y'all both don't really gel with each other. And as long as you can keep business, you don't ever have to gel with each other. Some personalities just clash, and it just is what it is. Okay, y'all, so we're finally at the end. I feel like this thing has drug on, but that's only because it was so much that happened in this episode. So anyway, Tasha and Rocky are headed to Nashville, and Tasha is about to meet with Motown Gospel. Now, let me say this. Last week, I said that I didn't feel like Tasha had it in terms of being a solo artist. I will say that if there's any genre that would probably fit her a little bit better, it would be gospel. Let me just say, it's more forgiving than the secular world. The Motown people, they're basically saying, we don't work with everybody and it has to feel right. But they were asking Tasha, what's her why? Basically, her why was, I didn't get a chance to be a singer in the 90s, and I'm ready to break off from the group because this is still a dream of mine and I want to pursue it. That basically was her why. Even within speaking her truth, there was still deception because she has not had a formal conversation with her bandmates about her working on this project, signing with a label, and going solo. Okay, so a couple of questions for you guys. In all sincerity, do you feel like Tasha is justified in her attitude towards her sister and towards the group. Also, is there any possibility that Tasha did not know about Tamika's check? Disclaimer, we don't know whether these accusations that Tamika is stating about Tasha and Rocky to be factual or not until they're proven otherwise. But based off of what Tamika shared about the check, is there any possibility that the check could have gone to Rocky's account, but Tasha not know about it? Now, think about it. Sometimes women, this doesn't mean that Tasha deep down inside may not have known. I do believe that she knows something. When she used the words, it doesn't exist, it's almost like, as long as I don't hear my husband say that he did this, it doesn't exist. And for him to double down and say it's not real, well, as long as he doesn't talk about it, it's not real. So y'all, just let me know what y'all think about that.